So back now to our really fun director-focused conversation. We're going to switch the topic a little bit. So recently, Kevin Feige came up with it, and I said on the record that they're looking for a quote-unquote, was it big-name director? Or
Big
like,
name.
just to sort of paraphrase, is a top-tier caliber director with prestige to direct the Fantastic Four iteration from the MCU.
That's how you know he's not messing around with Fantastic Four. It needs to be perfect.
Did you use prestige on purpose?
Yes.
Okay, good.
The prestige.
Pun intended.
So prestigious, but yes, the prestige. No, and to that point, because honestly, the really big thing they need to get right, they absolutely know they need to have right, because they have all these plates spinning around, is Doctor Doom. If you get Doctor Doom wrong and you mess it up, then you have handicapped the
That's gonna be
potential
hard.
for Loki. You're handicapping the effect that Quantumania is gonna have. You're setting all that up, and then bad Doctor Doom. Can't have that. Doctor Doom is like a top tier, like ultimate big bad, and you
Like
need to make sure
Thanos.
that we do it right.
What if he's not even in the first movie?
That also might be a good thing. They just
Yeah.
fight the Mole Man or Annihilus or something random.
Silver Surfer.
No, because then that means Galactus. And then that means Fart Cloud, because then you have Galactus, but we also have the Celestials, and because that's another. Unless we want to keep going cosmic and kind of wild.
I mean, they haven't gone back to that. Supposedly, Earth has like a huge hand in the middle of it, but nobody really seems to care.
I think they do, but they're just like, all right, man,
We've seen weirder things.
we're gonna chip away at it.
Apparently,
and then
they're like,
That's normal.
it's not
That's
like
that's
it's
a
not like
Tuesday.
it wasn't like everybody
It's
got
like half
dusted.
the population was gone. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. How weird is it that you still have part of a hand in the Indian Ocean? Or what's weirder, that and it's just still there, or randomly out of nowhere,
The
Arishem
eyes.
just showed up.
Yeah,
was
the-
just like, "What up?"
Doesn't everybody like see his silhouette? Like,
No, like
Out
you
in
see,
space?
it's not even a silhouette; it's him. And
Yeah.
you're just like, "The hell is this?"
And then you have Khonshu just moving all the stars.
Oh yeah,
one
that
day.
was also another thing. It's just like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna turn back time in front of everybody. It's like, what is this? This is freaking me out. So when Kevin Feige's throwing out that type of want of a top tier director, I want to put it up to you guys. Who you think falls under that scope, and who do you think would be good for the job?
so I think he's saying that because, I mean, normally they would kind of pluck out sort of no name directors or low budget indie movie directors, knowing that like, hey, these guys make good movies. They are good storytellers, and so let's get them on the cheap, have them make good movies, and then we'll pay them later. But it seems like now he wants to get someone serious. I think after him bringing back Sam Raimi into the fold, he considers Sam Raimi one of those like big time directors. And so I remember reading articles of him kind of letting Sam Raimi doing his thing, and you could kind of tell after watching Doctor Strange 2 that it was a very Sam Raimi movie. I'm sure Kevin Feige had input on how he wanted the story to go, but how it went structure wise, you could tell that it was Sam Raimi's movie all over it. So he's looking for someone like that he doesn't need to be looking over their shoulder. And so, yeah, maybe he's looking for a Spielberg, looking for I would say maybe James Cameron, but James Cameron's too busy making 10
All the
other
Avatars.
10
other
Avatars.
sequels for Avatar. But someone of that ilk, Christopher Nolan, like you said with the Prestige earlier, Christopher Nolan might be one of them. I mean, that would be pretty nuts. But yeah, I mean, we could just rattle off a whole bunch of big name directors like
Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve, Scorsese,
Thing with-
Tarantino.
The thing with Denis is that he's doing
He's
Dune.
also busy.
He's going to be doing at least 2 Dune movies, because that now with Dune Part 2, hopefully hitting later on, that it'll do well, because the first one is just awesome. It's an awesome film, and so if he continues in that vein, we just get more of that amazing hard sci-fi, then that'll lead to Dune Messiah, and then that's like his like ideas. Like I want to do just the first 2 books and be done with it, and we can call it a day, and that's awesome. So the thing is, I know they want to start getting that done now, and he has that commitment.
Right.
So
Marvel has a timetable, and I think another one of the reasons why they want a director like this is because they have like how many things do they have going on a year now? How many shows do they have coming out? I don't think Kevin Feige is as involved in every single thing as he used to be 10 years ago.
For sure. Yeah.
Maybe even 3 years ago, because now that Disney Plus is up and running, they have 3 or 4 Marvel shows coming out a year. And so you have the shows, and then you have now that movies are back, you're probably going to have 3, sometimes maybe even 4 movies for the next like 2 years coming out, just because of the backup from
That's almost
COVID.
like 8 different projects
Right.
a year.
So he's got a lot on his plate, and I don't think he can be so fixated on each and everything. So he's like, let me get a big boy in here, or a big woman, anybody. It could be like Catherine Bigelow. That would be pretty sweet. Any big name director. And he's like, let me tell them where the story needs to go, and just hand them the reins to Fantastic Four.
honestly, my mind, like guys, my mind keeps going back to Spielberg.
That would be sweet.
Because he knows how to balance all that really well. Like he's done the super serious, he's done the whimsical and the kind of big blockbuster tentpoles. He's done the action. He's done stuff with like thriller comedies.
And
Like,
he's now done musicals. Like
he's
he's
done
literally
musicals.
Yeah.
done
he
a
is
little bit of
goat
everything.
for a reason. Like he can do everything. Like he's that good. So imagine, there's Spielberg, because it kind of gives the idea of like he can juggle the family dynamics that you definitely get from a Fantastic Four, and obviously he has people that he can trust to write for him, and that he could make that work all in a good set piece. He can work with CG and practical effects, and he knows, hey, from being so tenured, he knows how to get the best out of the people he's working with. So that's where my mind goes to. I do have another like wild card pick, but I want to hear what Danny and Zach
And
has to
just
say.
for like such iconic classic characters, we've had 3 Fantastic Four movies already, and I mean, you kind of know what you shouldn't do now. So they got some
Bones. Correct. I mean, the first 2 aren't that bad.
They're goofy.
They're goofy.
Yeah.
They're somewhat entertaining, but man, the
Fan Four Stick.
Fan Four Stick or whatever it was that came out,
God,
that movie was.
That's how-
I mean, it
that
started
movie's
off
weird.
good.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very strange because it's like the last 40 minutes of that movie is nonsense.
Yeah.
it is pure nonsense.
It seemed like a completely different writer came in. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm back from vacation. Let me write this really
finish
Exactly.
this up.
let me
He-
write this
he came
really
back.
dark movie out of nowhere." Like the tone of the movie completely shifts, and it's very, very weird.
Yeah, it goes from like this like Cronenberg like body horror thing to
Yeah.
just like goofy superhero team up, and it's tonal whiplash
It's weird.
to the point where my neck still hurts from it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not good. It's not good. But
But
you know,
So
who
yeah,
knows?
definitely at least don't follow that one.
yeah,
You could probably pick and choose little bits of those first 2, and then go from there. But
it's gotta be about the family dynamics, like just the fact that they're like they are this makeshift family. Like Sue and Johnny, obviously they're family, but being just you have Reed Richards, you have Ben Grimm, like they work and function together in this almost really it's this interesting dynamic you get from the comic books, and hopefully like there was a cartoon that came out that was a while back, like a couple, I don't know, about 10, 12 years ago or something, where it was like kind of semi CG, and like I feel like that nailed some of that really well. And Doctor Doom was cool, like he was badass, like he wasn't overused though. And you just gotta make sure you have somebody who can handle the gravitas if you're gonna put Doom in the movie. Like Anthony said, who knows who doesn't do it? But Spielberg, I think for sure can handle it. Danny, what are your thoughts?
Did you guys mention Christopher Nolan already?
Yeah, Anthony
yeah,
mentioned
but
Nolan.
just
It
by
just kinda-
name. But
You kind of like reference.
Yeah.
why would
it,
you
not
want him to be? the director of that movie.
I feel like Christopher Nolan might be good for an Avengers movie, like something more like up there. But
I mean, it's still
As a
a big
solo-
team up movie. I mean,
Zach is thinking Inception. He's like, you mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
yeah.
And then Tom Hardy shoots a freaking grenade launcher.
Oh my god.
He just pulls it out of nowhere.
It's like, what?
I mean,
I love that scene.
other than, well, I mean, it would be interesting to see how they do this practical.
Exactly. That's the only thing that I thought about. I was like, so he's gonna get a real man, like a man that can stretch
on
his
fire.
arms.
No, a man on a
He's-
fire suit.
Well, that they can do. They
Yeah.
just put a lot of whatever that.
Put a fire hose and then just have hands at the end of it.
well, they did
No, they
the
do that.
thing practical with what's his name? Chickless.
Michael Chiklis.
Michael
You put
Chiklis?
some respect on
Hey,
that.
that they should just bring him back. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And then-
that was all practical, so
you
I
could
don't
do
see why they
Invisible
can't do it
Woman
again.
practical.
I hate you.
Just don't have anyone there.
I hate you.
You get a voice actress.
Yeah.
I hate you. Terrible.
But yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do Stretch Armstrong practically.
Stretch Armstrong.
No, you can't. The answer is just you can't.
But yeah, I mean, as practical as he likes to do things, he does use CGI.
Yeah.
So it would be cool if they can tap him to do that. But I feel like the script needs to be like Oscar caliber for him to like want to do it, even if it's a Marvel film.
Yeah, it's just not up his alley, so to speak. Like it's something that I think like he's at the enough point where he's like, no, I can do whatever
Yeah.
I
He's
want.
like, I did.
I don't think he'll do it, but
he's like,
No.
I did
Yeah,
it
it's
pre
just-
Batman. I'm pretty good.
just theories.
yeah.
The other choice I'd probably have that would be pretty cool, but I also don't think would happen. And I think we mentioned it when we were talking about it. Brad Bird.
Oh,
Man,
no,
stole
it's
my
Brad-
wild card.
That's right, Brad
'Cause-
Bird.
You know, The Incredibles is very like Fantastic Four vibes.
Very
but-
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
kind of made it already.
super strength,
No,
elasticity, invisibility, and force fields. Like you're
Jack
three,
Jack has
three out of
everything.
3 out of 4.
Well,
Yeah,
Jack
3 out of
Jack
4.
has everything.
Jack, I'm pretty sure could turn into a rock monster,
He turned into a fiery
Lobster.
baby.
fire baby, and he was invisible, and he teleported, and laser eyes.
And then like a devil baby.
Yeah,
S-
that's
so
my favorite.
strength. I
But to
guess.
deal with like 4 characters, 4 family members, like, you know, I think it would work.
Yeah, and he's part of the Disney family, so he just has to call a couple doors down. Hey, Pixar.
Better Call Saul.
Is Brad Bird available?
Better call Brad.
Yeah.
I
He's
think
done live action before.
he
so-
has
Mission Impossible 4.
Goats
I think.
Protes.
Goats Protes, you know, and he
Ghost
can handle the
Protocol.
big stuff. So that's practical, and you know some other CG. But like I honestly think that the like the secret answer to all this would be Brad Bird. That's what I think. If we're not able to get you know John Watts to come and do it, so I think that it to me makes sense. But I want to know like if there's any other like anyone else, because like no someone like a Tarantino, wouldn't do that.
Yeah, especially if Tarantino's saying like, I'm gonna do one more movie. I doubt his last, in quotes, last movie is gonna be a Marvel
Fantastic
movie.
Four.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah.
and he was working
And
on
he
a
would,
Star
and he
Trek
would want to
movie,
write
too.
it. He would want to write it, and Kevin Feige's not gonna let him do that.
He's not gonna let him do that. It's like no, sir.
So,
So Mr. Fantastic can't just use F-bombs the whole movie. Like,
He's like, right? No, he can't. No, he absolutely.
Well,
question.
why the not?
Why the f not? Yeah,
Question. Do you think from him saying, you know, we need like an A-list, like top-notch director, he's not going to use any director that's already done a Marvel movie?
I don't think.
I don't know. I mean,
Unless
Like at least like one of the MCU movies.
maybe they bring back
The Russo brothers.
John Favreau.
do they?
Jon
I guess
Favreau.
it's up to them is who they consider is
Yeah.
an A-list, because as much as Brad Bird makes complete sense,
Yeah.
maybe Brad Bird is not considered,
Not
one of the
considered
big
the-
like
names.
yeah.
that he's
when we
talking
think
about.
when we think about big dog, like
Yeah, Brad
movie
Bird is not
directors,
the same level
No.
of Spielberg.
yeah, we think
Well,
of Spielberg,
Spielberg.
Cameron, Nolan. We think of all those
Yeah.
guys.
Scorsese, but Scorsese kind of doesn't like Marvel movies, so
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say, what if they
That'd be
somehow
hilarious.
brought in?
They choose
he doesn't
him.
like them until he gets a buttload of money to do it.
Yeah,
so.
I was like, what if they just like, hey, here's a truckload of money? And Scorsese's like, well, whatever, man. Like, sure. You know, because they can't. You know, I don't think the Russo brothers would jump in on it. I mean, they could do it.
they could,
They really could.
and they did say that they would be open to returning
Yeah.
to the MCU.
I think they'll
so-
probably come back for some sort of like Secret
Yeah, but
Wars
it
or
was
some.
only a few years ago that they did one, so they probably want to take a
They'll
break.
do the
Yeah.
next Avengers.
Probably in
Whenever
And it
that
can't be
will
too
be.
serious. So like, I just remember like, what about Paul Thomas Anderson? Nope. Like that's just like, it could. I mean,
in Feige's mind, from all the people that they've had, I wonder if maybe he considers like you said, Jon Favreau as one of those top tier, or Kenneth Branagh, even though he only did one
James
movie.
Gunn, but
But James Gunn's busy.
yeah,
But the thing is, James Gunn may not be in that tier as much as we all enjoy his
Yeah.
movies.
yeah, it's his
It
own
might be a bit-
style.
so to me, when he says that, I would say
someone they've
um,
never used, but
either
someone who has a big name.
like out of the people that they've used already, I would say who just did Eternals. What was her name?
Chloe.
Chloe Zhao.
Chloe Zhao.
She won an Oscar, so technically
He's the most
she's-
top tier.
She's
director.
probably the most top tier director that they've had. But the thing is, I don't know if they would use her for that, or maybe they could. They could just use her for that. But I have two in mind. But you can go if you want.
No,
I got
no,
some
no.
others.
You
I have-
say it
I have-
because I think
I have
you
one
just
in
went.
mind,
I
too.
just kind of like psychically reminded you of the two directors, and they're not technically from America.
America. Well, one that I think would be cool would be Guillermo del Toro.
That's it.
Mm.
Bingo. That just popped in my head right
Um,
now. I was like, holy
I
crap.
think at
another
this
one
point
could
he's
be-
considered
Well, go
Oh,
ahead.
a big name, especially he's
yeah.
won an Oscar for
Shape of Water.
and he makes great movies, and
Yeah.
his visual style is always
He did
always
Nightmare Alley,
immaculate.
right?
He did Nightmare
Yeah,
Alley,
that
which
one was
again was
good.
also nominated
Two
again.
the two Hellboy movies. He
Yeah, I was
did
gonna say, like,
Pacific
he did
Rim.
Hellboy.
He's done
too.
pop. He's also did Blade 2.
Pacific Rim.
Yeah,
Pacific Rim. But
He
Blade
did,
2 specifically, so he can balance the thing, the kind of tone it needs. Hellboy was like this fun dysfunctional family between Liz, Hellboy, and Abe Sapien. So like you can do it. That's-
Hellboy is probably the best thing you can use of his to kind of like say like he can do these type of movies, and,
And
then
then
can
Pacific
transfer
Rim.
over to a Marvel
Yeah.
movie.
and then Pacific Rim,
Right.
because
So
Pacific Rim
his eye on how to make the visuals work is top notch.
he would make the Thing do a suplex
I'm
on
sure.
somebody, and
I'm
it'd be the coolest thing ever. Because Guillermo del Toro loves lucha libre. So
But
make it
another one that I just thought of now was someone that they were going to use before, but they didn't. I consider
Oh.
him top tier,
Uh,
but they may not consider him top tier.
I think you might-
Edgar Wright.
Oh my god, you took mine. You
Edgar
took
Wright. No,
mine.
you talk about it then. But yeah.
Okay. Damn, I was gonna
Go,
talk
go.
about that.
Do
Yeah,
it.
I want to
Say
hear
what you were gonna
I
say.
want to hear
As
Zach's
saying-
take because,
As
like,
soon as
I
yeah.
just thought about it now.
As
so.
soon as you started saying like, oh, something that they almost use, I was
Yeah,
like,
man.
oh my god.
For so
I
long,
just read it
I
right
wanted
now.
to see his version of Ant-Man, and then when they said
That's
that,
what I was thinking.
when they said that he was no longer doing it, I was
That's what I
so
was thinking.
disappointed.
we were listening. We always dream.
Yeah.
Was like, what if the Ant-Man that we never got? It's like the the alternate, the multiverse where Edgar Wright actually did Ant-Man. Like, where would that come through? Like, imagine
Would've
Edgar
been
Wright
cool.
using Paul Rudd. Like, that
Like,
would be
it-
the
when you-
coolest
They're
freaking combo.
friends. Like,
because when you think of
Are they friends?
yeah, yeah.
I never knew
And they
that.
worked a lot before the movie was made. Like they worked, like in making the story work, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
it just
He's like,
stopped happening.
creative differences.
yeah. He's like, oh, they don't want me to do this.
because okay, so I had two directors in mind. One with a little bit more of a name than Edgar Wright, but I'm gonna talk about Edgar Wright first.
Do it.
So he came to mind because I thought about his like how he like how like his movies that have like really good funny comedy in it, like the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy
Mhm.
with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, where the movies are funny, but then they can be kind of serious, or they can have like a good storytelling and stuff. And so when I remembered after reading this that which I'm gesturing to my phone, by the way, reading that he was originally approached to direct Ant-Man, but then replaced by Peyton Reed, I was like, man, I can only imagine what an Edgar Wright version of the Ant-Man movie would have been like instead of what we got, which I really liked what we got, but I also would have liked to see how Edgar Wright's vision of it would have gone.
Mm-hmm.
Having seen movies like the Three Flavors Cornetto, which are Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. So that's kind of that was my first idea. So he's not a huge name, but he has made great movies. While they're not blockbusters, they are great watches.
They become cult classics. I will say
Yeah.
that. Like even
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim,
Baby
Oh, it's
Driver.
another
the
one
World
too,
and Baby
Driver.
Another one.
Well, Last Night in Soho, is awesome. Like I really thoroughly enjoyed that movie. I've seen it I think twice now, but I think like that's the thing is like he makes a lot of these movies that end up being cult classics or just like underrated gems and
and
as
he
much as they're
wrote
the
most
style.
of his movies,
Yeah, and he writes his own
With
stuff. So
the exception of one. But and Ant-Man was one that he wrote.
Yeah,
So
he still got story.
so we
credit.
got to see to
Yeah,
see
he
what
gets story
the
credit.
majority of that is his movie. So that's why I wonder like where the differences that he wanted that they didn't.
yeah.
So my thing with that is with bringing in Edgar Wright is the following. If Fantastic Four is meant to be the sort of like the kind of like big centerpiece a lot, I think of what we're doing in this whole phase, and it's a lot of the stories that Edgar Wright can create. Like okay, to Anthony's point, he's gonna write his own stuff, but they're gonna have him write the stuff, but then still be beholden to all these different plot threads that they have to point together. A lot of it comes through like with they do in comics currently, where they'll have somebody do a story like Jason Aaron's like Thor, the run of Thor that a lot of it's based off of for the Love and Thunder that's coming out now is like how is that still tying into the overall like general pace of what's going on now in what was going on at the time of those comics. So Edgar Wright's gonna have to do the same thing, like, and so like it's maybe that's part of the differences that he got into because I always thought it's like they still have to make all these Avengers references and these stuff, so it's like and these other things, but is that something he really wants to put up with? It's like no, I just want to make my own standalone story. You can't make it's hard to do your standalone story because
connected.
Fantastic Four has to be connected to everything. So that's
Also,
why
the editing that he's usually known for is Fantastic Four going to be that type of movie that's going to have like that frenetic editing that he usually does.
Yeah, especially like from Scott Pilgrim and Baby Driver, they get a lot of that. So as much as it'd be fun to see, but I still want to see it, but just I don't think it's there yet for Fantastic Four. Hey, we may be wrong and they pull him through, but we don't know yet. But who's your second one?
Yeah.
So my second one, so bigger name, kind of up there with like maybe Guillermo del Toro, but not so much like Nolan, Cameron, and so forth, and Spielberg. So
He's at the top.
I mean, this is a big name, but I really don't see it happening. Peter Jackson,
Ooh,
I was just gonna say that one.
nice.
because when you think about movies like Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, King Kong, movies like that, those are big. Those are big set pieces. They're grand. They're not like I don't see Fantastic Four ever being made to that kind of level
Why not?
of the because it's just
You on crack,
Dude, I want a 3-hour Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
I-
And they
could
just
see-
walk around New York City. Like,
I could see Peter Jackson doing maybe an Avengers film or some kind of like team up
Big
movie
set piece.
Yeah.
in the MCU, but not like quote unquote solo movie with like the Fantastic Four, where it's just like it's a standalone movie, and it'll pave the way for these characters to show up in other movies and for them to play roles in other big events.
Mhm.
But I don't see him particularly directing that kind of movie. I see someone more like Edgar Wright directing it, and then maybe get Peter Jackson in for like an Avengers movie or something in the future.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate and actually think that Peter Jackson would be a good choice for that because if you want to
would.
tell a little more of this family centric story like with a lighter tone and it's like maybe more adventurism and science, like gotta make it more adventure, like that's what it is. Like
but
they're
would you
going on
watch
an
a
adventure
3.5 hour?
Hell yeah.
3.5 hour Fantastic Four
He
movie?
can-
Sure, why not?
It could be down to 2.5.
It's fantastic.
Did you just quote freaking Barbie girl?
No.
Life in Plastic, it's fantastic.
No.
Yeah, he totally did that. For the record, Anthony just quoted Aqua's Barbie girl.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a movie soon.
They also
Oh,
had that
yeah.
other song from the Power Rangers movie.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Which one? Shampoo?
Or is that Shampoo?
From-
Oh,
We're in
Aqua and
Trouble?
Shampoo, whatever.
Shampoo.
That's whole shampoo.
Why do I know that?
Because the Power Rangers movie is a banger.
The Power Rangers movie
The
soundtrack.
most recent one.
No,
no.
this is
From,
the
like,
one from the
the
90s.
Okay.
The one with the
The one-
coolest, one of the coolest opening sequences of all time.
when they like are air surfing,
They're just
airboarding.
skydiving and while playing the Chili Peppers version of Higher Ground.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So awesome. Watch it. It's also really cheesy. Anyway, so yeah, I could see him do it, but I think a pick, because again, like he's done a little more serious stuff, but that has had set pieces, and dealt with CG and other stuff, and he also did, a Harry Potter movie.
Wait.
I was about to
All
say
Harry
you
Po-
could
okay.
literally
Cor-
name
cor-
all the Harry Potter directors.
So-
But I think I know who you're gonna say.
Okay,
Yeah.
there are three that come to mind. Well, two.
If he only did one, then I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, if it's one, it's the guy that
Yeah.
did probably the third movie.
The third one.
That's Alfonso
Alfonso.
Cuarón.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was
So-
either Christopher Columbus, but
No, but
or Chris Columbus.
so
Yeah.
think,
Columbus.
yeah,
Christopher.
so Alfonso Cuarón I would consider as one of these top tier directors because he did Gravity, which won awards.
The one best movie.
Yeah,
somehow.
Damn.
Damn.
Damn, the second one.
The man's like, I needed more George Clooney. How dare you?
I have no more
I've
arms.
never seen it actually.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute.
You
Somehow.
have no opinion.
How is a
However-
movie called Gravity Best Picture?
However,
Come on.
I've heard that like some of the physics doesn't make any sense and it's not really that great.
Okay, it's not
when
Interstellar.
you compare it to like
okay?
Yeah.
exactly when you compare it to Interstellar.
But watch the
Martian.
first like 10 minutes.
The first 15 minutes of this movie is tension.
Actually, the whole movie is it's tension. The movie. That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's done really
But is
well.
it
It's-
good tension?
Yes. It's
Fine.
done very
Watch
well.
Children of Men.
What is that?
Oh, dude. We gotta have a Alfonso Cuarón.
night, and then we watch
weekend.
Roma, and then we watch Y tu mamá también.
Whoa,
Oh, he
whoa,
did
whoa,
Roma?
whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes, he did Roma. So again, we're talking about prestige. That was like Netflix's shot of like,
He
"Oh,
did-
we want
he
best
didn't do
picture.
Prestige.
He did not do prestige. Shut up. That's like if you're looking for like a high caliber director that has made really great moving pieces of art, and if you want something like that to make from something like a Fantastic Four, yeah. And I liked honestly the tone and the kind of transitions that are in Prisoner of Azkaban.
Oh yeah,
I
like,
think are
with
really
the
cool.
with the
Yeah.
reflections and mirrors and windows and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, so and he's
Those are
dealt
pretty
with CG and stuff and
And,
things like that.
You know, not direct family, but like a movie about like friends and the family of everybody in Hogwarts. So pretty much anyone that's done Harry Potter movies could technically do this movie. So even
David
David Yates,
Yates.
because he's
Even
done the
David
past like
Yates.
10 movies.
He did the second half of the original.
He started
Harry
at
movie.
4 or 5.
I think 5,
So he did 5, 6,
Six,
7,
seven.
and then Fantastic Beasts 1, 2, and
or
3.
both the last 2 movies, and then he's done Fantastic Beasts. So like he's
Because I think his
He's-
only directing
knows
credits,
wizards.
like his only
Yeah.
directing credits are the last 4 Harry Potter movies, the 3, and I'm assuming the 4th and the 5th Fantastic Beasts, and like maybe 1 or 2 of the movies.
who did the 4th movie? Because
I-
that's my favorite Harry Potter
I
movie.
forget.
Same.
I thought that was David Yates.
That might
I
have
feel
been
like
his
it's
first.
not.
I thought it
Is
was.
he
I don't
is
think it
he
was
like
David
the
Yates.
Justin Lin of the Harry Potter
I
universe?
think so. No, Mike Newell.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Thanks, Simon.
Yeah, for sure it was the second half of that franchise.
Yeah.
Like exactly the second half. Because then Chris Columbus did the first 2, Alfonso the third,
So
and that guy.
One
other
thing
guy.
I'll say is that I'm looking at what's reported right now in terms of his work plate, his slate that he has for that Alfonso Cuarón has. I don't think it could work because I think he has something in development right now, and so I think if he wanted to, he could. Obviously, it becomes then his discretion of like, do I want to be roped into this MCU shenanigans? But I think he can do it. Like I really think he could.
is Ben Affleck considered a big name
Argo
won a Best
direct
Movie
Fantastic Four.
with Argo?
Argo direct Fantastic
And he's
Four
directed
stuff.
good movies.
He has.
Was it Gone Girl
Yes.
that
Yes.
he also did?
Yes.
I got one
good
one
movie.
more director for
Oh
you guys.
no,
We
I
can
think he
keep
Yeah,
has
rattling
one
off.
more.
I got a couple more. too.
Okay, I got a couple. I got one in my mind, but I think Danny just took it.
Robert Zemeckis.
Ooh.
That's a man who's willing
He
to
knows family.
experiment. Okay, he knows
could do
family, for sure.
movies.
Or you could get any director from
Yo, get George
Fast and
Miller.
Furious.
Fast and Furious.
That's why when he
'Cause they
mentioned
know
family, when he mentioned family earlier, I kind of like chuckled a little bit because I immediately was like, "That's why Justin Lin left because he can make a family
Oh.
movie."
He can go make a movie, a real movie about family.
Or Vin
He's like,
Diesel will
"Ben,
do
I
it.
gotta make my own family with the Fantastic."
I gotta
Four."
start with my own family. to take care of your
But
family.
Zemeckis would be cool. Yeah.
That would be cool. He's
All right.
kind of in that same school as
Like
Spielberg.
Spielberg.
Like
Forrest
not as like
He's a pioneer.
yeah,
for sure.
he's not as like top tier Spielberg, but he's up there in like with like the type of movies that he's done and
Yep.
how memorable
Yeah.
a lot of his movies are.
Bob Zemeckis, like I said, like yeah, just now, he's definitely a pioneer. He's willing to take risks on stuff. He for anybody who's seen Chip and Dale, he
Danny has.
Yeah.
he the Polar Express was one of these first movies that tried to use this like uncanny valley lifelike
Oh,
CGI, and then that tied into
I-
Beowulf.
I didn't mind that actually.
You didn't
Okay.
mind the lifeless eyes looking sort of not into your soul, but kind of was. I'm looking right at you, dude. That scene is hilarious. He's like, I'm right here. He's like, yeah, I'm looking at you, and it's just there. That was key. That
You
was
need to
top
watch
tier.
Chip and Dale.
You
Just
do.
just for fun.
Just for the fun.
I have to finish it.
Oh man, but Robert Zemeckis, I think they could bring him in because again, he has accolades from things like Back to the Future, Forrest Gump. Just Forrest Gump alone makes him qualified to do whatever the hell he wants because that movie's awesome, and the stories outside the background of production. Again, if you haven't seen, little side note, if you have not watched the movies that made us on Netflix, give it a shot because it goes through all the production sides on a lot of your favorite movies. It's really, really cool.
How about his name just popped into my head. I was gonna say
Baby.
at first I was gonna say Ridley Scott, but I was
I was
Ooh.
just
but
thinking Ridley
I
Scott
feel like
too.
he's like as cool and good as a director he is. I feel like it's too serious. It would probably be too serious of a movie.
Because I was just thinking about
But
Ridley Scott as
no,
well, but
someone
I
else just popped into my head.
but then
Johnny
I was
Storm. Are
also
you not
kinda thinking
entertained? Yeah.
about, like where Ridley Scott's done like Aliens, right?
Yes.
And Gladiator.
So maybe more on the serious side of things, but I mean he's up there with
Exodus.
with a
Oh, okay.
big name.
I remember
actor.
now. Ron
then-
Howard.
Oh,
that's a good one, yeah.
Ron Howard.
Yeah,
Good one. He did Solo.
He did Solo, yeah.
I mean, don't point to that because it didn't make money. I mean, it looked great.
It sucks that it
Look,
didn't
I
make
like
money,
Solo. Y'all can
I
suck
liked it too.
I
Anybody
just
who
said it
doesn't
didn't
like
make
Solo,
money. I didn't
suck
say
it.
anything about the quality
good.
of the movie. It just didn't make money, and so to them,
Well, it didn't make money
But-
because fans were like kind of boycotting it in a sense.
I don't
like,
know about that.
They kind of refused to go watch it, but
But
that's
my
partly why.
Yeah, I
my
mean, but he
opinions on
definitely
the-
is a
some
big
of the
name
Star Wars
director.
fandom, whatever.
He is a big name director.
Yeah. You know what? I have one before we might be able to close this out with this one. I was thinking randomly because that's another prestige director, George Clooney.
Is he considered a prestige director?
I mean, Babel.
He directed Babel.
I thought he did. He's directed.
I know he's directed movies, but
he's directed.
has he
stuff.
like won an Oscar? Because I know the movies I've seen that he's directed have been good.
Michael Clayton. That's really good.
That is a good movie.
Yeah, I thought that he had. Yeah, like I remember thinking, like, yeah, like George Clooney's done some good stuff, like. But
He directed Michael Clinton because I know he was in it.
I thought he
He
directed
started
it.
in it. I almost
Oh
said
no, that's a 20 Girl Roy film.
yeah. I almost
Damn,
said
that
Brother
guy's
We're
good.
Out There, but that's the Coen Brothers. So
Yeah. No. Yeah. Imagine the Coen Brothers directing Fantastic Four. That would
That'd be interesting.
That would be something else.
Actually, I had another one.
I like how we none of us have mentioned because I don't know if he's considered big, but John Krasinski,
I mean,
the original rumor of
Yeah.
he's able to make money.
he's made 2 good movies, so I don't know if he's considered in Kevin Feige's eyes as a big time director, but if he is gonna star in the movie as Reed Richards,
Maybe he's just saying we need a big director to kind of throw off the rumors, but then surprise everyone.
Maybe it's actually because he's he's big, like he's actually kind of tall.
well, because John Krasinski would be somebody that they would get normally
Yeah.
because he's technically like an indie movie guy. Because those 2 movies are indie kind of horror movies, and so he would be the type of person that they would normally get. And then he would probably end up doing a really good movie, and then okay, now we'll pay you the big bucks for your second movie.
Yeah.
Kind of like I'm sure what they did with the Russos and anybody else that's made
Yeah,
a
that's
good
true.
first movie.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think as much as the rumors, the people that want to believe those rumors want him because it would be cool for him to star and direct in it. I don't know if he's considered a big name director.
Another
I don't
one,
think so, no.
but I don't think would either. But big name director, Tim Burton.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
I just don't think he would have the.
Danny Elfman
Very
would come
vibe
back to
for
the
him,
score,
but-
just all this, kooky. No, like I don't know. I think Tim Burton is too busy doing that Wednesday Addams show on Netflix.
Ooh, that's right. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Yeah, it's some interesting stuff. I still think that like
Michael Bay.
Please no.
Oh my god.
no,
Please yes.
UA Bowl comes out of
Please, yes.
retirement.
Like okay, maybe they'll hire Michael Bay to, let's say, choreograph the any Doctor Doom potential fights where Doctor Doom is
We'll
like
get a
blowing up
bunch
stuff.
of
but-
drones.
Yeah, dude. As long
Oh,
as
the-
you get drone footage
No.
of Human Torch flying. Oh,
no, I got it. They're gonna bring back UA Bowl
oh.
from retirement.
And then he's gonna somehow infuse video game footage into the movie. Is there a Fantastic Four video game?
Oh my god.
Probably.
like he
Yes,
did.
it was movie tie-in.
He did that in House of the Dead, and it was so ridiculous.
Why did he make a House of the Dead movie? It's so bad. Just Blood Rain also really
In-
bad.
In the middle of scenes of people shooting zombies,
He cut
they cut footage of people shooting zombies from the video game.
like the light
in-
gun arcade that you have at random places here, just ooh with the really bad sound effects.
Oh my God.
Yes.
it's so terrible.
Yeah, it's something else.
It's really bad. I don't know, but so honestly, I guess like our like high end hopeful
Yeah,
that we get
I think
is gonna
Spielberg
be
would be
Spielberg.
awesome.
I think we're all on board for Spielberg.
Yeah.
Spielberg directing Fantastic Four would be a major win for Disney. And you know what? He also did a movie about family. Hook. Done. That's my case. End of story. Hook is awesome. And Steven Spielberg. That's what we got.
People flying, people fighting,
Dustin Hoffman
and crowing.
crowing. Yeah. and there's a boo box.
There you go.
No.
You always
boo
need a boo
box.
box.
Who have you doubted me? And then that's what happens when Spielberg gets it. He would just start quoting Hook. Damn, that's awesome. All right, guys.
Well-
I think this is a good discussion.